Hey everyone, so this video will focus on correcting positive externalities of consumption. When there are positive externalities of consumption, how can the government intervene to correct this market failure? So let's get started. So let's first talk about what is the market failure that happens when there are positive externalities of consumption. Remember, positive externalities of consumption are external benefits that are generated for the rest of society and third parties when an individual consumes a product. Okay, so the act of consumption generates external benefits. It benefits the rest of society. Okay, so in that case, the marginal social benefit is greater than the marginal private benefit. The MSB is greater than the MPB. Okay, because there are external benefits. It's that vertical distance between the MSB and the MPB. Um, as a result, the equilibrium quantity provided by the market, QE, which is the intersection of MPB, the demand curve, and MPC, the supply curve, the equilibrium quantity is less than the socially optimum quantity Q opt, which is the intersection of MSB and MSC. Okay. Therefore, there's an under allocation of resources. Society is consuming less of that product than it should, than what is ideal from society's point of view. There's an under allocation of resources, and there's a welfare loss, which is this triangle from QE to Q opt. Positive externalities of consumption are associated with merit goods, so education, healthcare, and vaccines. Now, what can the government do to correct this? So, first of all, the government can use education and awareness campaigns. Okay? Education and awareness campaigns will basically increase demand, which is the MPB, all right? And this will shift the MPB curve closer to the MSB by increasing demand for that product using marketing campaigns, educational and awareness campaigns that will increase demand. But the most common ways of intervening in this market are actually through subsidies or direct provision, both of which are supply side intervention. I can't spell provision. There we go, provision, both of which are supply side interventions. Now, what they do, this is something very interesting. What they do is even though the split is between the MSB and the MPB, they actually shift the MPC down. Okay, we'll call this S1 MPC1, for example. Okay. They shift the MPC down because they lower the cost of production. And what that does is it increases the supply, which then brings QE to Q opt. Okay, so even though the split is on the demand side, subsidies and direct provision will increase the supply, and subsidies will lower the cost of production, which is what shifts the supply curve down and to the right. Okay, this will make the product actually cheaper because see that new intersection here, that becomes PC, the price that the consumers pay, and then P opt, if there's a subsidy, that becomes PP. So the producers are receiving PP, but the consumers are paying PC, which encourages both production and consumption. So remember, the market failure is that there's an under allocation of resources, there's under consumption. How can the government encourage consumption? The government can use positive advertising, education, and awareness campaign to increase demand, which would shift the MPB to the right, closer to MSB, or the government can use subsidies and direct provision to increase supply, which would shift the MPC down and to the right. A downward shift of the MPC of the supply curve is a rightward shift, and that would increase QE, bring it to Q-opt, make the product more affordable for consumers. Price falls from PE to PC for consumers, but producers receive PP, which is P-opt. Okay, so this is the government intervention to correct the under allocation of resources that happens when there are positive externalities of consumption. Hey, I want you to press the like button right now. I want you to share this with your friends. I want you to subscribe. Go check the membership section, see if there are any videos for members that would be of use to you. The IB exam is in a few weeks, and I wish you all the best. Bye.